Good morning, good morning. Are we in? Is everybody in? If you are, good morning and happy Wednesday. Please drop a 1 in the chat so we know we've got no sound issues and everything's working. You know the drill.
Hi everyone, hopefully you can hear me too.
Awesome, we've got a couple of 1s, that's brilliant. Good to see you. We've got loads of people on the call this morning. I think record-breaking numbers, so I'm terrified. Don't know about you, Melissa.
Yeah, absolutely terrified.
We'll hold hands throughout it. It's going to be great. It's going to be fine. We've got an exciting one for you today, for sure. This is what you might call danger webinaring. Thank you, Barry. Good to hear. As one of us is streaming live from Digital Health Rewired in Birmingham. I can assure you it's not me. They don't let me out that much, do they? So it's not me. But as I say, it's lovely to see so many of you on the call. We've got some old faces. No, forgive me. We've got some familiar faces and we've got some brand new faces as well. So it's great to have so many of you here. Bit of housekeeping before we get started. Firstly, to say we are recording this, so you're not going to miss anything if you need to drop off. Second of all, we love questions. The more probing, the better. Melissa loves it when I say that. She knows because I don't answer any of the questions, I hand them all over to her. So the more probing, the better. Keep them coming throughout the chat. We'll get to them when we can throughout the call. So just pop them in the chat as we go, and I'll ask them of Melissa as we go as well. For those that don't know, my name is Lucy Glynn. I am the community manager here at Exxon Health. And with me today, we have Melissa Latto, head of product, award-winning head of product. I always forget that bit. I'm so sorry. I always forget it.
I mean,
but it always makes a big meal of it, doesn't it?
Old news.
Oh, give over. You can milk that for at least a year. All right. Together, though, today we're going to be talking about the all-new phone bar, or as it's known in the development circles, V7. Is that right? Version 7. It's a learning curve every time we do one of these. So Mel, you're tucked away in a corner at Digital Health Rewired. How's it all going?
It's amazing. All the innovation chats are incredible. I'm here with the Director of Development and Research, Derek, and Brad, our tech lead, just to find out a bit more about AI and how it's impacting primary and secondary care. Also going to be finding out about how pharmacists are working today. So I'm really excited. It's been a good event, real good tech event. However, I am in the danger room where people keep trying to come in and join the webinar live.
I told you, it's danger webinaring. We're on the seat of our... Do you know, I had a bit of a wager going as to how quickly we'd get this question. Barry has asked about multiple screens and moving the phone bar around the screens. So I'm just going to ask it at the top of the call, Melissa. Can you give us the answer?
No.
In short, no.
Sorry,
okay.
That was a very, very direct answer. So the reason we don't move the phone bar all around the screens is and allow you to drag it and drop it is because it's for a telephone. We need it to be coming up in the same place. It's got pop-ups and things that need to help with the calls that are coming in and filing stuff back to records, and we don't want you to miss that information. But you can easily switch it from screen to screen, which I will come on to just so everyone gets a recap on how to do that in a bit.
Okay, all right. And another question from Charlotte, well, not necessarily a question, but a point that she's raised is that there are a few glitches. So I think that's one that we can pick up possibly with your client relationship manager, Charlotte. We'll definitely come back to it, but hopefully a lot of what you're experiencing is going to be resolved by version 7 of the phone bar. So I think it's going to be a great idea to get into the good stuff. But before we do, we have got a lot to get through, Melissa, and I just want to ask the question out of my own curiosity, really, because I'm a bit of a nosy so. I wonder if everyone who is not yet using the Surgery Connect phone bar could add a number 3 into the chat. Ooh. Be brave. Reveal yourselves. Okay, straight in there, Ben. Thank you. Becky, thank you. Appreciate the honesty. Okay, plenty.
Good.
I mean, I'd love to know if you want to elaborate. Well, it's good to know. I think if you want to elaborate with your comments, that would be useful as well. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate that. If as we're talking, you want to just add some more comments in there as to why you're not using the phone bar, that would be really good to know as well. I've said it before, and granted, I'm still relatively new, but I think the phone bar is a real strength of the system. Lots of reasons, mostly on the screen right now. Number 1, single app handles calls, SMS, photo requests, call recordings, puts it all back into the patient clinical record, which is really, really powerful for creating a seamless working environment. Talking about improving the patient experience, you know, you've got that single click communication option. It identifies calls on inbound calls. Sorry, it identifies patients on inbound calls, which of course saves time and improves accuracy. And appointments feature allows clinicians to view their appointments and communicate directly from the appointments list. All things that improve that patient experience and saves time from an operational efficiency point of view. Lots of logical reasons there as to why the phone bar is useful today. But at the end of this month, Melissa, and I'm talking the month of March, things are going to get even better, right?
They are, absolutely.
Okay.
And this is all of the stuff that I want to show you. End of March, hopefully all of you will be getting this phone bar or upgrading, whichever. Lucy, you were frozen. Are you frozen because of my network, or are you reading?
I don't think I'm frozen. I think I'm just staying very still whilst I read. Apologies. I'll keep moving.
Right.
Little dance.
Tell us. Jiggling around.
I'm just flicking through the comments. These are amazing. It's really, really useful to have this feedback, and we'll go through it with a fine-tooth comb. If I miss any of it, because there's plenty of it, I'm just scanning for questions. But I think, Melissa, it'd be really, really interesting to hear what you've got to say, because I think a lot of the issues that people are experiencing, as I understand it, will be wiped out with version 7.
Yes, that is our hope. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take you through these topic areas. Some of you might be using the phone bar already. If you're using the EMIS phone bar version 5, we've got a lot of new stuff that you will be getting. If you're a System 1 customer and you're already on version 6, you'll also be getting some additional stuff that we've added in. All of this is from all of our customers' feedback. So we've worked really hard to try and listen to your problems that you're having, listen to how you'd like it improved with the way the information is being displayed to you, and just trying to get more information at your fingertips a little bit easier as well. So I'm not going to list off all of these things. I am going to just crack on and get straight into the demo, if that's okay with Lucy.
It's okay with me. I'm still reading.
Okay. Just Lucy, for your knowledge, I've got the rest of the team on standby as well. If I disappear, you can pull in any of them to support. They're there if there's any technical questions or anything that people are asking that we're not sure of. They'll either answer in the chat, or they'll come back to everybody after the session. So just in case there's too much for Lucy to read, because I have one little laptop screen here and I can't see any of them. I'm just hoping you can all see me and my screen fine. So with further ado, let's get cracking. So the phone bar, as you all know it. Now, if you are an EMIS customer, you'll instantly notice it's a lot shorter, and there's less wasted space. So we've made it even smaller. I'm going to go through it with the System 1 in the background, just because it's easier to access remotely than my EMIS for more than any other reason. But everything you'll see today is available for EMIS customers, System 1 customers, and we are launching a phone bar only version. So if you've got non-clinical staff within your practice who want to still use the phone bar to access them colleagues list or the directory, and have that simple, seamless communication path, they can also install the phone bar and use it, as long as they've got a user license in our SSO. Which is fantastic. So my mobile's ringing, there's someone at the door, and I'm going to try and ignore all of that and crack on. Right, let's get started. So one of the biggest things that you've all been talking to me about is how to log in and log out of your phone bar. So what we've done is we've improved the device manager screen, whereby you can simply attach a device, either your mobile phone or to a desk phone, or just use your soft phone at any particular point. So for EMIS customers, you used to have to go through the startup process, get an app pin associated to your desk phone that was sat on the side, and you'd have to put the pin in, and every time you move desk, you'd have to go through that setup. We thought that was completely ridiculous, because everybody's hot desking these days, and you might have colleagues in and colleagues out. So what we've done is we've created a simple desk phone attachment. So these would be a list of all of the phones that are associated to your service, your service rather than your surgery, because some people have a shared service across a couple of surgeries. They can favorite the ones. So if you're, I don't know, always at Chris's desk, for example, you can favorite that just by clicking on the star, and then that'll add that to your favorites list. So that would be an instant switch, and here you can go. You can see I've added that to the favorites, and it's tick because this is the device I'm using, and I can literally then switch to any other one of my favorited device.
Oh, we have a glitch. All right. Well, whilst Melissa's hopefully coming back online, and if not,
I am back.
Oh, hello. That's terrifying. Back. Let's not put that face on the screen again. Thank you. All right. I think it's worth just having one of the team on standby in case we lose you again. I'm just conscious we've got a lot to get through and limited time to do it. So fingers crossed.
I've been on here for half an hour and not had one connection glitch, and I'm 10 minutes in and you all disappear. Right, let's get cracking. So the reason I was taking you all through this is because we wanted to show you the attachment. Now I'm just flicking through here because you can see that the other thing we've done is a latency indicator. So this is showing me right at this particular point in time my internet is not good enough to be using my soft phone. So it's got a little cross through it. So it's like, nope, you can't use this. You're doing way too many other different things. Your soft phone strength won't be strong enough. So we suggest you use something else. You still can select it, but obviously it will be, your call might drop, or there might be other reasons for that. So it's a new bit that we've put in. From here, we've created a little settings cog. Now this just opens the normal settings page, but what it does is it takes you straight to your auto login and your auto log out requirements. We've had loads of people requesting their system to automatically log them out when they finish for the day, because they were forgetting to do it and it was targeting their calls when especially when they were stepped into other groups. So we have listened and we've given you lots of options, because one size we know doesn't fit all. So you can have an automatically log out, and what that will do, as soon as your clinical system logs you out, it will log you off your device and it won't allow any calls to come through. The other option is if it requires confirmation. So requiring confirmation would mean it will just come up with a little pop-up when your clinical system closes and says, do you want to deactivate your phone? This gives you the option to say no, and then you can use it as a phone bar only, so you don't have to be connected to your device, which is a really nice in-between state for those who aren't constantly in the clinical system. Or you can just do it manually. It means no pop-ups, nothing will happen. You're just using the phone bar as you are now, and you can just change your status as you do currently. So that was a lot of conversation about just logging in and logging out, but it is a big piece of that feedback. And you can see my internet has finally come back, so we are at full strength. So while we're at full strength, I'm going to take the opportunity to show you the changes to the incoming call UI that we've also made. So here we go. Let's hope this works. Drum roll, please. Oh, so you can see the calls now coming in. We've actually changed this, so you've got the phone number incoming call at the top, so this is the number dialing in. Next to it, if I'd been in a queue for a number of minutes, not seconds, you can see here, this is my queue time. Sorry, it's really loud. I don't know how loud this is for everyone else, but the call information we've added, so we've put information now in the phone bar, will come through in a green box. So this is informational stuff that we're trying to represent to you about the call. So I can see that I've come through a particular call flow. Obviously, this is all test environment, so a testing call flow. My group that is being called, the calls coming in on, is the appointments group, and I can see who that last spoke to a few days ago. So we've got people coming in the room, just giving them a stare, and they've gone away, so that worked nicely. And then you can see the patient information from there. I'm just going to open that patient information, and then I'm just going to end that call. I'm going to end that call. There we go. So I'm just going to end that call there. As you can see, as soon as the patient information, I've clicked it, it has opened up in my system one over in the side. Oh, I've got to end the call. I haven't ended the call on my mobile. I was calling in again, sorry. So I can see that patient information there. So we tried to make some nice, really clean UI stuff. happening stuff. I hate saying that. Sorry about that.
The feedback in the chat is that the UI is really sleek and wonderful, Mel. But I've also got a couple of questions that we'll get to as soon as we get rid of somebody walking into the room. Hello, stranger.
Sorry.
All right. So Ben asks, am I right in saying that associating the EMIS account to the user and then to the PC, and then the PC to the phone is required for this to happen?
No, not anymore. This is what we've removed, all of that crazy association everywhere. So you can pick your laptop up, go and sit next to a phone. As long as that phone is available in your service, on your surgery, then you can select that phone to get your calls coming in from. That's all it needs. A massive change.
Positive reactions on the screen for that one as well. So good news. Another question, is the auto logout fully working, as it didn't work properly at some point with EMIS?
That's correct. It did not work properly at all with at some points at all. It was very unstable. It is fully working. This phone bar is actually still in test at the moment, so you are getting an early view on this. Sorry, more people coming in the room. An early view on this, so hence it's coming out at the end of the month. But we are going to make sure it's super stable. We've got rid of as many bugs as we can. There was some disconnection issues. There's some weird bits that were happening when people were trying to click stuff and it would disappear or it wouldn't register through. We've got rid of all of those problems. So we really have worked on hard on the stability, as well as giving you a lot more functionality and trying to listen and clear all of those other areas up for you.
Great question.
I'm going to crack on because I'm conscious we've got 15.
Oh, let's go. We'll come back to these questions when we... Oh, we've lost her again. What a disaster. What I was just about to say is, if we don't get to your question in the conversation here and now with Melissa, we will either get in touch with you directly to walk you through your concerns or your questions, or we will follow up in the follow-up email when I send out the recording. So good. Nice to have you back. Carry on.
Sorry, I am back, and I have had another 3 people come in the room since I disappeared. So hopefully we can crack on for these last few minutes, and I'm going to skip through a few bits because I feel like otherwise we're not going to get to my really exciting part. So I'm going to go straight to the exciting part, and then I'll come back if I get time to do the other bits and pieces that I wanted to run through. So the biggest change that we've done is we've got rid of the help icon in our little circle. This is now your initials. Obviously I'm test 1 today, but I can see that my phone bar is available and my status is now shown next to my avatar. It's also in the bar as well, against the icon of your phone bar at the bottom, which allows us to do lots of new things. So if I click on this, I now get a menu that comes up. Now, this menu also has a mirror of all of the functionality that's in the bar. Now, the reason we have done this, and I'm just going to open up settings to show you, is because we've allowed you to configure the bar to the things that you want to use, rather than us saying, hey, here's everything, have a great time. So I can now remove, watch carefully, the active patient from the bar, the appointments from the bar, call history disappears, contacts can disappear. I can get rid of that big status now because I've got status here, so I don't probably ever need to see that box again. And last but not least, device management. So the device management, sorry, it's another person. The device management, once you've selected your device and you're using it, you don't really need to see it every day. So this is absolutely fine. Sorry, now the doors are wide open. Right, no, it's fine. They've gone again. This is the best webinar I've ever done. So you can see that everything is disappeared. Now, if I'm a clinician, I might want to have my active patient and my appointments open. Completely configurable. You do what you want with it. Now, one key thing here is this: always display the icons in the menu. Now, if I go to my menu, I can still see all of those icons. So I can still go to call history and I can open up call history. Exactly the same, pops up in the same place. We haven't changed the location of anything because we make it up in different windows because it would get confusing. You wouldn't ever remember where things were. So, but I hope I can do this. If I turn that off, you can see that now everything that's shown in this bar is not in that list. So you can have it either or. You can have it all shown in the menu and then have them in the bar if you want, or you can have only the ones that are in the bar and not in the menu. It was very confusingly explained, and I'm very sorry about that. But I hope that makes sense to everybody, that basically what we're trying to do is give you the flexibility that works with the way you're working, also allows the bar to become really small. I can close that down and you can see it's now just 2 tiles at the bottom of your screen. So hopefully all that moving around that everyone was talking about is now no longer a problem. And we're going from there. Sorry, more people.
There's some interesting stuff on that list as well, isn't there? I mean, I'm seeing stat boxes. Is that a...
Oh, yes. Well done, Lucy.
Is that too soon, or is that
P9? No, we are ready for stat boxes. So stat boxes is why everybody has the user menu open. Sorry, I'm just waving at people to go away again. So stat boxes is us bringing the user console or wallboard information to your phone bar. I'm going to press this button now. No, I pressed the wrong one. Press this button now, and hopefully the stat boxes are going to appear. I just need to.
Have you selected it from your menu?
I have selected it. So now we have some stat boxes.
Okay.
It has the ability to go anywhere you want on your screen. We haven't locked that down, so you can minimize it. Then it sits with your phone bar. You can pull it up at any time. I'm just going to make it a bit bigger, maybe not that big, to show you that also we've added in the groups here. So if you are a supervisor and you want to maybe keep an eye on the emergency bypass group and maybe the main reception line, by clicking these stars, it sits in the favorites, which means that you don't have to have all of those groups already open. You can just have what's important to you in your groups for finding people. If they're available, you can click to call from here as well. So I could call Dr. Stephen if I wanted to. And I can see everything that's coming in. Now, you can see there's not many boxes there, and that's because I've actually hidden some of the non-important ones. So again, we've given you flexibility. You do what's right for you. So if I wanted to see all the calls that are missed today, that will add in, I don't know, the longest queue time, average talk time. As you can see, these are all adding, all these boxes are adding into that menu at the side there. We've also got the option to have this box automatically appear when you start your phone bar, so you don't have to think, oh, where does it live, why do I want to get it? Again, another reason not to have it on the phone bar, because if you automatically open it every day, then you probably don't need the icon to sit on the phone bar. Use it how it's right for you. We really want to make this flexible. Want your feedback. We really want to make the phone bar your go-to place for using those calls, whether you're using a hard phone or a soft phone, or even diverting it to your mobile. We're just hoping that everything we're putting into the phone bar and providing that flexibility is, you know, us listening to what you want. And I understand everybody's talking about the movement of moving it around, but we're trying to make it dynamically smaller, so it's not so using up so much of that window space for you every day.
Which I think is hugely important. I'm going to pick up on a couple of questions, because there is a lot of concern at the moment coming through on the questions around hot desk users and whether they're going to have to go through the icon to set up at each PC they log into. There's a similar question around defaulting it at a practice level so that people, sorry, that's not the similar question at all. There is a question around auto login of staff who move around all the time. They're never in a set place. This seems like a bit of a downgrade. So do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so when you say it's a bit of a downgrade, I probably need to understand a bit more of what you're referring to. So the auto log out of your phone bar doesn't change the auto log out that you can have at midnight that our support team can put in place for you. So it doesn't interrupt with that. This is just at user level when they're not accessing their phone bar or their clinical system. It's just giving it not just that kick out ability at the midnight stage, it gives them also the ability to not have to remember when they've closed their clinical system down, they also need to close their phone bar. hope that answers that question. With regards to the user specific phone bar, you know, how you're using it and then hot desking it, doesn't matter. It's your user profile that your phone bar is associated to. So it knows who you are when you log in, and therefore it will be set in your settings. It doesn't matter what PC you're using for that. That goes for the stat boxes as well as the phone bar itself.
Okay, there's absolutely loads of questions in the chat, Mel, so I suggest we just move on and we come back to these offline.
No, that's absolutely fine. So the only other thing I wanted to really show you on stat boxes was these are all have display groups that are set up. Currently, these are set up by the support team. Apologies, our support team, if you do get bombarded with calls for people coming to ask for this. So you all may know or may not know that the wall boards themselves can have different configured display groups. So you can display a group depending on the department that's using that group, which will then show the calls that are coming into that specific group. So this I've got here shown for all users. I've got a test display group, and you'll see that my users drop down to 2 because I've only got 2 available users in that group. So this is it doesn't work by your group management. So these groups are not relevant to the group up in this test display group. Just to be clear, this is a wall board group. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm happy to clarify that a bit more later if anyone has more questions. It feels like Lucy's face is telling me that there's hundreds of questions in there, and I do promise you that we will try and get back to everybody. Maybe as part of this webinar, when we do the follow-up, we'll take a list of those questions out and we'll maybe try and answer those in the content of the follow-up when we share the video, as there is so much. I'm really excited there's so many people interested, and I'm actually, you know, the questions are good for me from a product perspective, because if I've missed something that's completely obvious and maybe I should have done and should have thought about, then I need to know. I need you to be telling me. I want your feedback. All of this is fantastic for me. Really was absolutely over the moon of how many people have actually joined for this call. The other thing is, I don't know if you've all maybe noticed this little orange dot down here. So the other thing we've done is we have included in your call history voicemails. So if you have got a voicemail that's come through and you haven't listened to that voicemail, it will show you a little orange dot. It will show you the orange dot on the call history here, and it'll also show you if you've got it in your settings. Hang on, I just need to change that setting. It was badly planned. What am I doing? So let's just go back to that again, and it will show you here as well. So it shows me I've got a notification, that notification being, hey, you haven't listened to your voicemail. As soon as I listen to that voicemail, it will go. I can listen to the voicemail by clicking the voicemail icon, expanding that, and then I can just play my voicemail from here. So there's no need to go away to the voicemail console, listen to that, or worry about the email coming through. This will instantly appear in your call history with a little notification to say, hey, you've got a voicemail. So everyone gets hundreds of emails. So that's one email that you don't need to worry about anymore as well, which hopefully is a nice little win for everybody. Just going back to some of the glitches, one big thing that was driving me mad, because we actually used a phone bar internally as well, was the colleagues list, the searching. So we did have a few problems with the searching, whereby if some people's names had part of the group word in it, it wouldn't find that person in the list. We've fixed that. That's completely resolved now, which is fab. And I can, you know, my name was one of the ones that never came up, which was, it irritated me quite a lot. And then the other thing we've done is also in the directory, we've added a notes column. So now you can see that you can add notes regarding that person. So you can do this for any reason. If you've got internal people that work part-time, you can put their part-time hours in this notes. You could, if you've got IT teams where you need to quote a code, that before they will help you can put that code in here. It's completely configurable. This is an example of a long note that one of our developers did, and it actually provides links out to websites as well. So if you need to redirect or do things in different ways, it's a really nice way of just reminding people. So you can use your directory for, you know, even just a remembering list of how to get to certain websites if you want to. I mean, not really the right use of a directory, but it's there if that's how you want to use it. Again, trying to make it flexible. The directory is still set up in the config console though. We've got 1 minute Lucy.
I know.
don't think I can cover anymore.
I was going to stop you because we are out of time. On reflection, we probably should have allowed an hour for this one because there's so much to go at. I think just importantly, Mel, when is it coming and how do people get it? Because V7 is going to revolutionise the phone bar.
It is indeed. So all you System 1 customers, you'll be who have got the phone bar already, you will get an automatic upgrade. So you just check the up date button. Oh my god, I can't get my words out. So I can see in my settings we've got the about, and then you can see here check for updates. So when the update's released, if you check for updates, that'll automatically update. We will slowly be rolling it out to the System 1 customers. We've also put in release notes in there, so in the future you'll be able to see what is coming. Now I know this says an old this is not the version you're getting because it's still in test, so this will roll up to 7, just so everyone's clear. I'm on the test version. For our EMIS customers, a little bit harder because you've got the version 5 and there's been so many changes, we can't automatically upgrade you for that. But if you but we will start to look to roll it out in July naturally to all of the EMIS customers. But if you want it as soon as it's released, which will be the end of March, then just contact our support team and they'll be able to do it for your whole service. So they'll just be able to roll it out to your service for you, just with an upgrade. So that's how they get it. See, if you're not using the phone bar at all, just please contact support. Just a little reminder as well for those System 1 customers, we are changing the API key soon. So if you're not using the phone bar, you will need to be using the phone bar because otherwise you'll lose connection to your integration. So if you're a System 1 customer, you don't use the phone bar, please, please, please upgrade, because I don't want you to lose all of your lovely features of linking to the clinical system.
And that's fantastic, Mel. I think we're going to have to stop you there. I know you could talk for England, but we're going to stop you there and say that that is it from us today. I'm absolutely thrilled and delighted to see so many people on the chat and getting involved with questions, concerns, etc. We will endeavour to go through that with a fine-tooth comb and come back to you all independently. And where we can, share all that information on the roundup note that will come out afterwards with the video link to this webinar. We'll make that available to all registered attendees. So thank you very much for being here. If you do want any more information, then as Mel says, there's the support team, but you've also got your client relationship managers available at your fingertips as well. And if you want any training, the training team is there as well. So do get in touch if you need any more support, and we'll thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. In the meantime, on behalf of the whole X1 Health team, thank you for your participation. We'll see you all around the same time next month. Have a happy and healthy March, and stay springy. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Thank you. And sorry about my glitches. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.